Hi, welcome to the Revival News today. I am Abby Reinga, and I'm excited about what is going on around here at Christian Leaders Institute. First of all, we have the reminder of the event. So I've kind of been talking about these for multiple weeks, but I just want to again remind everyone we have the Kenya Nairobi conference coming up on April 14. We've got over 60 graduates signed up, so if you have not signed up, don't miss that opportunity. Brian DeCook, once again, is coming to Africa, and we are very excited about that. We also have the Georgia USA conference with President Henry on April 16, so don't miss signing up for that either. And then the Tanzania conference, now we do have the city that we're going to do that conference, and that's Dar es Salaam. So I don't know how to say that, but I'm assuming you guys know where that is at. So that will be one of the places in Tanzania that we are going to be having Brian DeCook doing a conference on April 28th. Pittsburgh, we also have a conference now. It's a Peace Fire Training Conference on May 24, so there's more details on that you can get a chance to look at. And Cincinnati Conference on June 7, also a Peace Fire Training Conference. And then also St. Louis, we have a Peace Fire Training Conference on June 28, so don't miss out on any of these amazing Peace Fire events, as well as if you are in Africa, those events in Kenya and Tanzania. With all the exciting conferences for graduations and CLI graduates to gather together, we need some support for those African pastors and the conferences that they will be having with Brian. So I just want to let you guys know, once again, there's going to be over 100 Christian leader students and graduates that will be meeting with Brian while he is in Africa, and we need your support to get those pastors there. Some of them have to travel to get to the event, as well as Brian himself. Obviously, it's a little bit harder for us to get to Africa, and it's just such an amazing opportunity that the chairman of our board, Brian, is going to be there and just fellowshipping with graduates, but we need your support. So just even a small one-time gift would help a lot. So please pray about if that is something that you would be willing to donate to, so that the African pastors and Brian can have these conferences go as smoothly, and just once again have anybody who wants to be there be able to have that opportunity to be there. So thank you guys so much for that consideration, and we are so excited, and we'll be praying for these events and conferences as they are coming up pretty soon here. All right, the mugs are being sent. So we finally have the correct boxes for shipping them, so I apologize that I was hoping to have them already on the way near the beginning of April, but we just got the boxes in for that. So Sarah is working very hard to ship them out. Also, I wanted to let everyone know that Mary, she had won the Coming to the Luncheon. She is not available on that date, and so she told us that if we wanted to redraw names, she would love that. So next week, we're going to get those names together again and redraw, and kind of just wanted to let everyone know about that. So tune in as we kind of, we'll see if any of the other winners, most of them have responded, but we're waiting on a couple, and if any of them have not responded, we will also redraw for their position as well. So once again, tune in for that kind of opportunity. We're going to probably be going live more with the news, so just kind of be aware of that, and don't miss tuning in on Fridays. We had an exciting chance to meet CLI student Scott Britton and his lovely wife Cherie. They came here from Grand Rapids. They dropped in and visited us 2 weeks ago, and we were in the midst of March Madness, so I told them I wanted to get a chance to share this interview here on the 6th, our first week of April. And there are some exciting things that they are doing both in ministry, in their walk with God, all of those things. They are an incredible godly couple, and it was such a pleasure to meet them and interview them. Cherie actually wrote a book that she wanted to give us the opportunity to share with you graduates, and I think you guys are going to love it. I've kind of started the beginning, and I think it is fantastic. She reminds of some of those truths. I mean, the title of the book is No Sheep Left Behind, and that's going off of that parable that if one sheep is lost, Christ is going to go get that sheep and leave all the saved sheep to get that lost sheep. And so I think it's a beautiful message, and it's something that you would love. So we have a link for that on Amazon, and most of the prophets even are going to go to us so generously. Cherie has decided that, as well as Scott. And so if you want to get that book on Amazon, once again, we have that link. And if you're a vision partner, I would love to get this for free to you. So their story overall is amazing, and so I want to cut to that interview now, but I do want to tell you guys we had a little bit of trouble with Cherie's and my mic. We kind of are a little echoey, and we're really getting picked up on Scott's mic. Wally was gone that day, and so we didn't have his expertise. It was really nice that my boyfriend, he came and recorded it, but we had a little trouble with the mic. So just warning you guys about that, but over to that interview with Scott and Cherie. Okay, Sherry Britton wrote No Sheep Left Behind, and her husband is actually a CLI graduate and student currently. So it's just all around an exciting, opportunity to have you guys here. First of all, to show you guys this, which I will have Sherry share a little bit about. But first of all, we are going to have links below that you could get this on Amazon. And if you're a Vision Partner, you can talk to me and we can hook you up with this book too. So do not miss out on this. I'm going to start reading it this weekend. All right, so tell me a little bit about it. Like what it inspired you, Sherry, how you kind of got involved with writing this.
Okay. 4 or 5 years ago, the title No Sheep Left Behind, the phrase rather, it was not yet a title, just entered my mind and I didn't know what to do with it. But then it was a stuck idea that I couldn't shake off. Mm-hmm. No sheep left behind, no sheep left behind. And then I just thought of the idea of, the Lord being our shepherd and us being the sheep, and that he didn't want anybody, not one of us, being left behind. The parable.
Right, I was going to say, is it going off of the parable with the, leave the 100 and get that one sheep that's lost.
So I started writing the book, and it took me about 4 or 5 years to get this together.
Okay.
And it's, the audience, I would say, it would be good for people who are starting to learn about the Lord, or even the youth, like high schoolers, and even it's written in simple terms, so much so that even grade schoolers will appreciate the book.
That's great. So if you guys have your kids in high school, maybe they want to read this book with you. It could be a cool opportunity to read together, even like you said, as a devotional maybe, like for your family or something like that. And so I know you have some experience with writing, as your husband was telling me, and you. Tell them just a little bit about your writing background before you kind of came to writing this book.
I started creative writing at the age of 9.
So this is a long time writer, everyone.
I still have my writings up to this time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I still keep them. I started writing at the age of 9, and then I started contributing when I became a student. I started contributing at the school paper.
Okay.
Afterwards, after school, I set aside creative writing to switch to legal writing because I'm a law graduate. So I also use my legal skills in writing.
Okay.
Afterwards, I shifted from creative writing to legal writing, and then news writing.
News writing, okay.
And then I went back to this.
Now you're at this. I think this is the best yet, though. I don't know. I'm excited once again to check this out. And just real quick, what was your kind of personal coming to the Lord? Were you raised in faith? Were you...
Yes. My first aha moment,
right, where you're like, okay,
was when I was about 4 or 5 years old. My mother was holding a prayer book, and then she was showing me the pictures. This is Jesus, this is Mary, this is God the Father. You are a child of God, and God loves you dearly. And I was like, oh wow.
You're like, there it is.
I am a child of God, and God loves me.
Right.
Like,
that's the best news you can get. That's right.
Yes. And then I started running. My father just arrived from work, and I started running outside and told my father, I am a child of God. I'm a child of God. I was just so excited.
That's cool, that childlike faith. I love hearing that. Okay, so once again, guys, do not miss out on this. I think this is going to be a really good resource for you guys, opportunity for growth, once again, in your personal faith and maybe sharing with your children or friends. So, okay, to Scott now. Scott, how did you get started with CLI?
I was actually looking for a Bible college, and I Googled, and there it was. And so it wasn't long. I think I spent about 20 minutes on the website when I realized that I needed to sign up for it. So I was ready, and they say when the student's ready, the teacher arrives. So I married way above my station. I'm a simple service guy, and I own a small business, and I wanted to be a better leader. And I knew my walk with Jesus Christ has really only increased since 2010, and this was just the next step to get rooted and to be a better leader and for my growth. So it's been a wonderful journey. It's been a real blessing. This is a great mission. So
yeah,
very grateful.
So I guess I'm kind of curious then, how did you kind of come to faith? Were you also raised in faith? Was it, something you came upon later in your life?
I really wasn't. I had kind of a bleak childhood, and it really though, I was 17 years old when I accepted Christ for the first time in my life, and I remember being really excited about it, and my family really didn't encourage it, and then in my 20s, I got some secular education, and I started to although I had been kind of practicing the faith and going to church, I hadn't really matured, and I started reading some stuff that was more not biblical and kind of stuff, and I kind of got lost there through my 20s and kind of went in the wrong direction, and I think in 2010 was a big. I had been a pawn shop owner, and I had left. My first career was service work, and I had left that and kind of was living a hedonistic type of life, and I was on that treadmill of success and financial, and then it was in 2010 that I had what I call my road to Damascus. I was actually driving out to Las Vegas.
Okay.
And that was when kind of Lord touched my heart and made me see who I really had become. And it became clear to me who I was, and that's when I got to Las Vegas. The first thing I did was go to a church.
Oh,
and
now
confess.
That's not what most people do when they get to Las
confess.
Vegas.
Yeah, I was broken. God broke me on the way to Las Vegas, and after that, I got out of the pawn shop business, and God brought me a new wife, a godly woman, and my whole life changed, and it's been a journey ever since then, and so and
so here
a
you
whole
are.
different life. It's been a whole
things
different life.
Like that. And you have a business now with window.
I do serve. I serve others. I work with my hands and I serve others. Cleaning windows and
Right.
I have about 1,000 customers. God has blessed us, and but I'm doing something that I feel good about. And
That's
great.
great.
This education will help me to pass that on to my employees and to make sure that we're good stewards going forward
That's
as
right.
we grow. And so that's what this is about for me.
That's right. Thank you again, Scott and Cherie. You guys are, once again, such a blessing to us, and what a pleasure to meet you two. And once again, get a chance to take a look at that link with No Sheep Left Behind. All right, so over to the joke of the day. Why is the math book so sad? Because it has so many problems. I like that one. And then, how do you stay warm in an empty room? You go to the corner because it's always 90 degrees. I don't know why I was feeling some math jokes today, but there are our 2 math jokes of the day. All right, so over to our closing encouragement. I just saw these 2 pictures, thought they were beautiful. It's always kind of good to be just reminded of the beauty of God's creation when even looking at verses on a picture like this. But from the rising of the sun to the place where it sets, the name of the Lord is to be praised. Well, amen to that. From sunrise to sunset, our God is mighty and reigning. And also just an encouragement to you guys as you continue to plow through your studies and work in ministry. We know that it's tough. Stand firm. Your labor in the Lord is not in vain. 1 Corinthians 15:58. All right, guys, have a very, very blessed day. Keep up the hard and diligent work, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week on Revival News.